Welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. Neeru Tandon from Department of English, VSST College, Kanpur. We are discussing paper on English language teaching, and this particular module on syllabus design, the theoretical portion, has been written by myself. Let us start with syllabus. When we start defining a syllabus, understanding a syllabus, there are some conceptual difficulties. Clarifying the concept of syllabus is extremely problematic. There seem to be as many definitions as the definers are there, each apparently covering similar grounds while containing various nuances and differences in emphasis. In general, a syllabus is an expression of opinion on the nature of language and learning. It acts as a guide for both teacher and learner by providing some goals to be attained. Famous names in this particular area are Hutchinson and Waters. They defined the syllabus as syllabus at its simplest level. A syllabus can be described as a statement of what is to be learned. This one phrase, what is to be learned, defines the syllabus from beginning till end. Now, what is to be learned? Who is going to decide? There are three stakeholders. Number one, student who is going to learn. Is he supposed to decide what is he going to be learned? The second one is teacher. Will he decide what a student is going to learn? Or the third and the important person who is behind the scene, that is syllabus maker. He is going to decide what teacher is going to teach and what learner is going to learn. So, it is very much clear that the basic framework, what is going to be learnt, is being decided by the syllabus designer. Teacher is supposed to follow that with certain variations, and a student is supposed to learn whatever is being taught. So, Noonan refers to syllabus as a syllabus consists of list of content, that is, he just paid emphasis on list of content to be taught through a course of study. Key tasks for the syllabus designer are the selection of the items and their sequencing and integration. Again, two more important things are there. Sequencing of the content and integration. How many things should be integrated and what should be the sequence, which should be taught first, which should be taught afterwards. That is also to be decided not by teacher but by the syllabus designer. So those things which are supposed to be taught first will be put in unit 1, then the rest of the things will take place in the rest of the units. Stern defines a syllabus as connected with content, structure and organization. For Lee, syllabus is essentially a statement of what should be taught. As others also said, year by year through language, syllabuses often also contain points about the method of teaching and the time to be taken. Having a syllabus is a necessity because, as Hutchinson and Waters state, language is a complex entity and we have to have some way of breaking down the complex into manageable units. This gives moral support to the teacher and learner. The knowledge that is going to be exposed to the students has to be organized and sequenced. A syllabus can also be seen as a summary of the content to which learners will be exposed according to Yale. It is seen as an approximation of what will be taught and it cannot accurately predict what will be learned. Now take care. Syllabus can only decide what will be taught. and not what will be learned. This depends upon the rest of the two units, that is teacher and mostly on student. Syllabus maker designs the syllabus, teacher tries to implement it, but finally the major work, what is to be learned, is going to be decided by the learner and not by the teacher or the syllabus designer. The design of syllabuses, let us discuss that also. Syllabuses are concerned with the specification and planning of what is to be learned, frequently set down in some written form as prescriptions for action by teachers and learners. When one acquires a syllabus, either in the form of an institutional document or as a textbook, it is as well to reflect on what it is that one is buying. Syllabus, when we take it as an expression of opinion on the nature of language and learning, it acts as a guide for both teacher and learner by providing some goals to be attained. At the simplest level, when we say that it is a statement of what is to be learned, we must be very careful that this planning is accordingly made for the benefit of the learner only. Now, syllabus design has been taken as a critical process because there is one more word in this category, that is curriculum. Curriculum or syllabus is concerned with content, objectives and sequence. Candelin, Breen, Ellen and Yelden seem to include also instruction and methodology. Syllabuses can be broadly or narrowly defined. Broadly defined, we may expect them to offer information about particular audiences of learners, their target needs for learning the subject matter in question, from which are derived their objectives, and their state of knowing at the commencement of the syllabus activation. If we define them narrowly, then perhaps locally at the level of a school or even a particular class rather than any larger institutional frame, such syllabuses are restricted to mere collection of items of content derived from a special view of the subject. We have discussed mentioned another word, curriculum, with reference to syllabus. Now let us take both the words simultaneously. The term curriculum is open to a variety of definitions. In the narrowest sense, it is synonymous with the term syllabus. We can say there is no difference between curriculum and syllabus. They may be just another word for syllabus. As in the specification of the content and the ordering of what is to be taught, they are same. But in the wider sense, it refers to all the aspects of the planning, implementation and evaluation of an educational program. The why, how and how well, together with the what of the teaching learning process, is also included according to Finney. Now, what is the difference if we just want to make a difference between syllabus and curriculum? What is that? Curriculum is wider as compared with syllabus, because curriculum it contains the time also, within how much time that syllabus is going to be completed, then what are the other factors, how it will be managed, who will teach, and what kind of other things or teaching material or tool will be included. That is all part of the curriculum. It covers all the activities and arrangements made by the institution throughout the academic year to facilitate the learners and the instructors. Syllabus is limited to particular subject of a particular class. Now, another question comes, why do we need a syllabus? Yes, generally every examination has its syllabus, every course has its syllabus. That is a statement of the subject matter, topics, areas to be covered by the course leading to the particular examination. Students and teachers, they consult the syllabus in preparation for an examination, and very often the teaching of a course will be strictly guided by the syllabus in question. The term course of study, curriculum, program often cover more or less the same things. If thus replaces the concept of method, and the syllabus is now seen as an instrument by which the teacher, with the help of the syllabus designer, can achieve a degree of fit between the needs and aims of the learner as social being and individual, and the activities which will take place in the classroom. Now ultimately, what is the aim? Aim is to make him a proper user. So if that is achieved with all these things, then syllabus is of course needed. It is thus a necessity in terms of providing educational services to the community in a proper manner, in a methodical manner, where teacher is responsible for completing this syllabus for the welfare of the student. So there is a chain, a link, and everybody is doing his or her job. Now, what are the ideas to keep in mind when choosing a syllabus design? Two. One is that no single type of syllabus is appropriate for all teaching settings. Why? Because there is notional, functional, then situational, then different types of syllabuses are there. So it depends upon the course as well as upon the type of students that number of syllabus can be decided, just thought that they should be included. And then when choosing a syllabus design, one must take into account all the potential factors that may affect the teachability of a specific syllabus. Now, Harmer reminds us, syllabus design concerns the selection of items to be learned and the grading of those items into an appropriate sequence. And the major factors affecting the choice of syllabus are four. First, learnability. Whether whatever we are going to put it in the syllabus, is it learnable or not? If this is not the case, that whatever we have just put it for the sake of keeping it, and students are not in the condition to learn it. Suppose, for example, in the English language teaching course, if we just give in syllabus, compare and contrast one English book with one Spanish book. Nobody knows Spanish, neither the teacher nor the student. Then who is going to compare and how? So that is not the learnability, and that is not required also for ELT. So that is not the learnability. So learnability should be taken care of. Then coverage. Coverage of the syllabus, that it should cover the entire topic needed for this particular year. Then usefulness. Usefulness should always be decided keeping the student in mind, and the frequency. So all these four things are very, very important. Now, whenever we design a syllabus, the best syllabus should be according to certain parameters, like learner's age, background, and capability. What do we mean by that? Learner's age, learner's background, learner's capability. Suppose, whatever we are designing, whenever we are designing a syllabus, let us see what is the age group, to which standard these students, these learners are from. What is the age? Like if you are designing the syllabus for 10 years old boys and girls, then it must be different from the adult learners' need, because their needs are different, their capabilities are different, their problems are different. Then their background. Are they for which area? Are you doing it for Uttar Pradesh or for Bangalore or for some other like rural city or any other city that way, rural portion? So if they are coming from rural area, their background is different. They have no knowledge, prior knowledge of base or the foundation of the English language. So if all of a sudden you give them a very deep knowledge of the subject and you just expect something great out of them, then it is not possible. So background must be taken into care. And then capability, of course. Then the second thing is the grading and the evaluation scheme. what is the scheme, like whether the paper will be objective or it will be subjective. If the subject is like humanities, then like language, English or Hindi, whatever it is, or any language for that matter. So if only objective paper will be there, then you will not be able to evaluate their writing skills, because language skills, all the 4 language skills are supposed to be judged and taught as well. So spoken English also should be judged. So for that you are supposed to keep viva. So written skills should be judged. For that you are supposed to have the subjective paper. So that grading and the evaluation scheme is very, very important to decide how and in what manner the syllabus will be taught. Then materials to be used. Whatever we are going to use as a material, teaching aid, is it the textbook, or we are going to use the technology for that? Various softwares are being used, some videos, some films. So what we are going to use, it should be decided at this particular time. It should not be left on the free will of teachers or the students only. Then topics to be covered. Any particular, like I am planning 19th century English literature. There are plethora of writers. Which writers we are supposed to cover? There should be some symmetry, like some prose writers, some drama, some poetry. So every area should be covered in that. In the same way, when we define the agenda, the timetable, the schedule, so which topic requires how many minutes or days or periods, that should also be known by the person who is designing the syllabus. So only he can decide about the timetable or the schedule. And working bibliography, if you will give them very hi-fi books that is above their standard, then that is of no use. So bibliography should be always designed with a very conscious mind that those books should be mentioned which are really useful for that particular student, for that particular group of students, and they can be benefited by those books. They should be direct books, not only reference books, but the textbooks and the reference book. Always the working bibliography should be in contact with that. There should be a relationship between the two, and then only a syllabus will be a good syllabus. So a syllabus is needed, no doubt. Concept of the syllabus for second language teaching has been widely recognized because of the initiation of more complicated theories of language and language learning, as well as detection of the variety of learners' needs, wants, and aspirations. Accordingly, a syllabus is needed in order to produce pragmatic efficiency or economy of time and money, and pedagogical efficiency, that is, economy in the management of the learning process. Instruction provided in an institutional setting is assumed to be a more efficient method of dealing with learning than allowing the learner to proceed in a non-structured environment. The syllabus is needed for classroom instructions also, and because a teacher needs a particular syllabus for a particular class to fulfill the aims and objectives. We know there are various types of syllabus, but the thematic study shows that the rationale is focus on the meaning of language, rather flexibility in content choice. So whenever you are as a teacher, you are going to choose the type of syllabus, always keep these things in mind, that flexibility in task and activities, themes related to students' level and interest, variety of topics and text types, scope for recycling learning and ideas, and finally balance and progression of skills within each unit. Often a question is asked, should a syllabus be explicit, and if so, to whom? A syllabus in ELT must be explicit for the teacher and should be at least partially produced by him. When the teacher participates in syllabus production, it ensures complete understanding of the end project. A syllabus can be more or less explicit for the learner also. The learner must have some idea of content, but the amount of input he or she has into determining either ends or means depends on educational background, age, type of program, and a host of other factors. Like a class 5th student, you cannot expect that he will decide what the syllabus should be. But when a student is going for his PG or for research purpose, he should have a liberty to participate in the syllabus design. A syllabus must be seen as making explicit what will be taught, not what will be learned. A range of outcomes must be expected. A first stage syllabus for a specification of content does not constitute an expression of objectives for a given group of learners, but rather a summary of the content to which learners will be exposed. The syllabus designing, what are the trends for that? To design a syllabus is to decide what gets taught and in what order. So the choice of a syllabus is a major decision in language teaching. A syllabus based on an acquisition theory of learning, however, would emphasize unanalyzed and carefully selected experiences of the new language. Candlin and Breen, who belonged to the Lancaster school, represented the first trend of syllabus designing. The school of thought has strongly reacted against the notion of a fixed syllabus, which can be planned, preordained, and imposed on teachers and students. For this group, it is not a choice between a structural and functional syllabus. They regard the syllabus as open and negotiable. Candlin even more radically rejects a syllabus which requires learners to bank received knowledge and to attain predetermined states of knowledge. He proposes a syllabus which encourages learners to explore ways of knowing, to interpret knowledge, and to engage in dialogue. Such a syllabus is interactive syllabus. Such a syllabus is a problem-solving syllabus. So syllabuses are social constructs produced in interdependent in classrooms by teachers and learners. Understood in this way, ideally, syllabuses become retrospective records rather than prospective plans. Now, there is a connection between syllabus and teaching methodology. To achieve this, without losing the benefits of a well-designed syllabus, Vidya-mitra makes a conceptual distinction between syllabus and teaching methodology. The syllabus provides the framework with a good deal of latitude for teaching learning activities because Vidya-mitra separates the concept of syllabus, which is confined to content specification, from teaching methodology, which is not part of his syllabus concept. Now, even a syllabus can be evaluated, whether it is a good syllabus, whether it is a bad syllabus, whether it is a desirable syllabus, or whether it needs to be changed. So, syllabus is a shareable plan by definition and therefore opens to inspection and evaluation. Perhaps we would require our syllabus to be accessible and meaningful to anyone who is directly or indirectly concerned with its use. We would expect a syllabus to provide criteria for evaluation and to order subject matter in ways in which coverage can be checked. That is, there would be steps along the route at which we could evaluate progress and at which we could check the appropriateness of the plan itself. Now, when we create and reinterpret a syllabus, then as teachers, we may follow a pre-designed syllabus. Every teacher inevitably interprets and reconstructs that syllabus so that it becomes possible to implement it in his or her classroom. The basic boundaries are not changed, the strategies are changed, not the proper methodology or the content. Similarly, learners create individual learning syllabuses from their own particular starting points and their own perceptions of the language. Now, what are the suggested steps for planning a syllabus? Develop a well-grounded rationale for your course. Decide what you want students to be able to do as a result of taking your course and how their work will be appropriately assessed. Define and demarcate course content, that is, delimiting it. Structure your students' active involvement in learning. Then identify and develop resources. And finally, compose your syllabus with a focus on students' learning. So, creating and reinterpreting a syllabus needs more attention. Although, as teachers, we may follow a pre-designed syllabus, every teacher interprets it. How? Suppose you are in your class and you want to reinterpret the syllabus according to whom? According to your capability, according to your free will, or according to the need of the students. Reinterpretation of syllabus always should be according to the capability of the students, need of the students, and how well it is going to benefit them. A learner's individual version of the route may harmonize with the teacher's version, which in turn may harmonize with the pre-designed plan. The classroom is therefore the meeting place or point of interaction between the pre-designed syllabus and individual learner's syllabus. This interaction will generate the real syllabus or the syllabus in action, which is jointly constructed by teacher and learners together. The pre-designed syllabus is therefore something of a paradox, for it serves to gradually render itself redundant. It is always replaced in its implementation by that syllabus which is jointly discovered and created in the classroom. To sum up, we can say that syllabus is something that is desired, not only for giving an bird's eye view to the student who is there to choose the course, because most of the students, they choose the course according to the syllabus, what they are going to learn out of that. But it is also important because within a given framework of time and period, those things, the learning objective should be achieved. And how it should be achieved, that also can be decided if the well-framed syllabus is there. What are the various good books that students are going to consult, and their learning will be based on that. How teachers will use the technology for this purpose, and what will be the methods of evaluation whether the desired learning objects have been achieved or not. All these things are part of the well-designed syllabus. So, syllabus designers are always important point. They are the important factors of the education process. Keep learning, keep smiling. Thank you for visiting EPG Pathshala.